Hi, welcome to Bukit Kiara Archery Range. My name is Anwar and today I would like to do a quick review on this bow. This is a Kaya Black Cat 60 pounds and this is how the bow looks like. The limb is covered in some sort of fabric. This is very similar to the Kaya KTB. As you can see in the handle, it has the same pattern. I would call this Korean batik, I assume. And if you can see, the string is multicolored and there's some writings inside, and you can see there is a Kaya Black Cat 50 inches at 60 pounds. So for today's quick review, I'll be shooting using my fingers as well as my thumb. So for the first few review, we'll be shooting this using the Taurus 500 spine carbon arrows. So let's try it out. So for today's test, since we are using a Korean bow, we would like to shoot it towards a Korean target right over there. The distance we're going for today is only 12 meters, just to see how well does the Kaya Black Cat performs. So we're gonna shoot a couple of arrows. So if you notice, my string, the brace height is a little bit high. I actually shortened the string a bit because I get much better result with a slightly higher brace height compared to the usual Kaya brace height. So this is how the bow looks like again. So let's try to shoot a few more arrows. So if you notice, the string is colorful. This is actually useful if you are doing string walking. You don't have to have multiple knocking points. You can just remember the color that corresponds to the distance. So let's try this. So in terms of the bow, for its price and size, it's quite fast. I actually used a draw weight measuring tool, and at 28 inches it is roughly 55 pounds. So most Kaya bows are rated at 31 inches. So bear that in mind. If you're looking for a Kaya bow, do remember that the draw length is measured at 31 inches. Okay, so let's retrieve that, and then we'll shoot a couple more arrows that will change hands to the right hand using the thumb draw. So we'll shoot this with a couple more arrows. So this is the last one, we'll just shoot 4. Alright, let's take a look together at how the arrow is placed at 12 meters. Now of course, this bow is 60 pounds. I am more used to a 40 pounder. I'm just starting to practice to use this bow. So I hope you understand. So this is the grouping from 12 meters using this Kaya bow. Now some of you may say that 500 spine may be a little bit too flexible for a 60 pound bow, but so far if I use 400 it actually deviates more to the right. So I'm going to retrieve these arrows and then I will be shooting this 2 more ends using the thumb. So traditionally Korean bows, well, Korean archers will use the thumb to shoot their bows, so let's honor that. Right, so for this time around, we'll use the right hand with the same arrows, but we're going to shoot it with a thumb draw. Now again, I've had this bow for about a week plus now, so I'm still practicing, but let's see how the arrow flies. So let's try to anchor that a little bit longer. And now let's try this with a sideway katra just slightly. We'll try this again with the forward katra. And finally, just a standard thumb draw without any katra. Minimal, let's try that again. Alright, let's take a look at the target together. Since we are shooting at a very close distance, I still haven't identified where on the string would I need to knock the arrow. But after testing out a few positions, I can say that this one was about here. These ones are at the purple. These ones are about here in the orange zone. So if you think that the kaya serving is just fancy for no good reason, actually you can use this for string walking purposes. There are a spectrum of colors here that you can choose from, and you don't have to do any knocking point if you don't need to. So perhaps this is like a secret technique that can be used with a kaya bow, but ultimately it is much easier if you are a traditional archer who shoots using the string walking technique. So let's retrieve these arrows and we'll see how the arrow flies from my back. So let's try the thumb first. Alright, so I'll change my position, I'll change the thumb guard to a finger guard, and we'll try the left hand. Alright, for these few arrows left, we'll use the 3 fingers Mediterranean draw and towards the target. So if you notice, I have a shooting glove here. That's the reason why it is so fancy like this. I won't go into that today, but let's try and see how well it works. Now bear in mind again, I've only had this bow for 1.5 weeks, so if my shooting is not great, I'm sorry, I'll just need to practice more. So overall, with some practice, the bow actually shoots really straight, and the draw is actually very comfortable. So this is how the draw profile looks like at 60 pounds, at about 28 to 29 inches. You can see the draw is actually very smooth. And of course, with this kind of bows, you can use both your left hand and your right hand. And if you're ambidextrous, you can train both. And essentially, it is a very affordable traditional bow, and it's a great bow for beginners as well as those of you who are just starting out traditional archery. Now the kaya bow comes from, if not mistaken, 25 pounds all the way up to 60 pounds in Malaysia, and you can definitely get custom versions directly from kaya at about 80 pounds up to 125 pounds if I'm not mistaken. So what is my review of this bow? It draws really smoothly. In terms of performance, not bad at all. The arrow speed, with the right arrows, you can go up to 200 FPS. And who should get this bow? Well, beginners and intermediate archers should get it, but bear in mind, I would personally won't go for the black cat again, because if you can see here, the kind of fabric that's covering it, it gets damaged very easily. And especially in our weather here in Malaysia, it's hot and humid. This thing actually breaks apart. Look, I'm just using my fingers, no nails, I'm even wearing my glove. If I just rub that, it peels off. So perhaps not the best in terms of aesthetics. Maybe if you are looking for a bow similar to this, consider the Kaya KTB or the Firefox and Windfighter variants. Personal opinion, they're all the same bow. just different looks and different design, but everything else it is exactly the same. So 60 pounds Kaya Black Cat. I would give it 3.5 star out of 5 because of the really low quality backing here on this particular model. Now this could just be the model that I receive, but ultimately if it has a better material on this, I'll be much happier and I won't hesitate to give it a 5 star. But for this one, this particular one, 3.5 star tops. But I'll still use it because I want to train to shoot accurately with a 60-pound bow. So ladies and gentlemen, for more information you can contact us at Eureka Archery. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on Instagram. For other than that, be an archer today. See you again.